All spiritual practices and yogic devices are basically intended to giving you the experience of your real self, which also happens to be the experience of your deathlessness. One can easily gain this experience if one can manage to remain conscious at the time of death. But people are so afraid of death that when the moment of death, everybody goes unconscious. And because of this unconsciousness, everybody fails to have the experience of life, the experience of deathlessness at the time of death. Consequently, you are born again. And again, you take this life to pass through all the experiences. Since again you remain unconcerned with death, you continue again and again taking birth and passing through death. The cycle of birth and death continues through the ages. Meditation is in fact the device to pass through this experience of death consciously. In other words, it is a voluntary death. It is just deepening inside, drowning inside, just sinking inside, or moving from the surface towards the inner depths of your being. The moment you leave the surface and start moving towards the depths of your being, you start feeling as if you are dying, just because you have identified yourself with the surface. This identification with the surface is the real cause that you start feeling as if you are dying, because you are leaving the surface at such a moment. This fear is bound to become natural. A worldly person is one who encounters death at the end of life and becomes unconscious at the time of death because of fear. But a spiritual seeker or a Sakshi is one who feels and finds that every moment death is continuing. He finds that life is like the sand in an hourglass which is being lost every moment. For him, death is every moment, right here, right now. It is happening every moment, every day. But people are overlooking it and treating it as a distant phenomena which will happen at the end of life. Hence, it is advisable for you to resolve to enter into death through meditation by taking a jump into it. It is the real arduousness of meditation. Of course, death is a very natural phenomena of life, but most people look it unnatural to be ready to die. But what a strange paradox. If you are ready to die, this very readiness to die can give you the experience of deathlessness very quickly and easily through meditation. But if you are not ready to die, this unreadiness can make your life a natural phenomena of death. It is one of the deep dialectics of this existence that if you ask too much of anything, that very asking too much will become a cause of losing it. Fear of death may take any shape, but fundamentally it is the basic cause of fear in life. This is the only fear of man's life. But if you are ready to die, in this non-fearing existence, the real flowering of your life can happen. Once you reach the door of death through meditation, you will for the first time experience that you have a life eternal, that your continuity is eternal, it is time eternal. It is now that you experience a state of non-desiring, which is not the opposite of desiring, but it is simply the absence of desiring as such. It is the absence of desiring at all. For example, one may renounce life for searching God. But here, this renouncing is not non-desiring, because it is simply changing the object of desire. Now it is not wealth, it is God, but the desire of God is still a desire, it is not non-desiring at all. In this way, you can go on changing the objects of your desire from lives to lives, but you will remain the same because the desiring will be the same. So when I say a state of non-desiring, it simply means the absence of desiring. It does not mean the changing of objects. Then the desiring drops, and this very absence of desiring becomes the life eternal. However, this happens quite spontaneously. You cannot make this happening your desire. Sitting silently without any desire of result is meditation. Once you sit with the desire of the result, you will miss meditation. If you can understand and feel that desiring is futile, only then desiring can cease. Remaining aware of the futility of desiring is very important for dropping the state of desiring. Absence of desires create the real silence, because it is only the desire which creates the greatest noise. When you realize that desiring itself has become futile, you get transformed to a new level of consciousness. Now you get out of the wheel of sansar, but you cannot make desirelessness an object.